effectively an interfaith endeavor, is perfectly situated to offer its findings for the enrichment of every flavor of spirituality, and to do so in interfaith spaces. The findings of science are 100% about the handiwork of whatever forces created all this. With all our religious diversity, we meet and engage one another in this world. However we might disagree about transcendent realities, we generally agree the earth is round, right? The DNA sequences guide the development of our bodies. That microscopic pathogens cause infectious diseases. That devices based on quantum effects and tiny transistors work, right? It's true that sometimes new discoveries force us to reconsider our beliefs in a new and more expansive life. That's a spiritual practice too. We did it after Galileo, and we can do it today too. I'm eager to know, how does the kinship of all living things resonate, similarly or differently, for Hindus and Muslims, for Jews and Taoists, for Jains and Christians, for Mormons and pagans and atheists? What could they learn from one another once they go a little deeper than polite appreciation for one another's beliefs and rituals? The fact of our kinship is something we all share because we are it. We are that kinship. I think it's a really solid ground for supporting deep and authentic interfaith dialogue. And of course, kinship is just one book in nature's immense scriptural library. The culture wars urge us to think of science as some kind of enemy of religion and spirituality, claiming that science reduces all magic and mystery to the mundane mud of materialism. I gotta tell you, science does just the opposite for me. The universe we explore today is 100 quadrillion times as large as the one Galileo got in trouble for. And his version was millions of times larger than the universe theologians believed in at the time. Science makes God bigger. Relativity and quantum mechanics now reveal a luminous, numinous, material reality that contains no actual material. Every discovery, every dark frontier illuminated, reveals even greater mysteries beyond the shores of our knowledge. And with each new revelation, nature's glory and elusiveness grow, often by leaps and bounds. And in me, this inspires an ever-expanding awe of the creative forces that birthed all this, however that happened. I like to say science is awesome, but it's nature that's awesome. Science just reveals it to us. Science offers revelations that could serve as a global interfaith scripture on the handiwork of ultimate source. Nature scripture is the only literal common ground we have. And here we are, living in it, living as it. We can perform exegesis on physical reality. Studied with trust, rigor, and an interfaith community, nature offers to be, if not the wedding vows and the civil marriage of the world's religions, then maybe the officiant that beckons them to the altar, that says, "Come, all are welcome." When something is sacred, nothing can justify its destruction or desecration. The text, in and of itself, is not sacred, but is made so through our rigorous engagement with it. We believe that in treating texts as sacred, we can learn to treat one another as sacred. Nature is a sacred text, and sacred texts describe things that must be protected, revered, cherished. Approach with trust that studying nature can yield spiritual reward, rigorous, earnest engagement to make it sacred, and in community, global interfaith community. Natural reality, as science reveals it to us, could unite the world's religions in holy testimony. When we treat nature as sacred, knowing that our bodies are one with the whole of creation, we might just come to treat one another as sacred too. Sacred elements of a sacred planet, minuscule and precious,